when will we get justice? Oh, when will we get justice? Oh, no, they don't want it. No, they don't want to see no justice. They don't want it. No, they don't want to see no justice. They don't want it. No, they don't want to see no justice. They don't want it. They just want to feed destruction in the black and blue. Trying to shackle you, throw you in the orange shoe. I can't even watch the news. Watch them misinform you. The police at the fucking boat. This shit ain't never cordial. No justice or no peace. My people open up the portal. Every single day since made the people out your marching. We don't fuck for smoke. We want the freedom with no marches. Wage just a miss. I'm not convicted. It's disheartening. Bring your rubber bullets in your tear gas. We still marching. Got my brother PTTG and he's still marching. Got my girl Mariah leading traffic out here marching. Catch my homie Alex rolling ready out here marching. Yeah, I see you, Jackie, with a Gabby out here marching. With a David Bowie, with a bro stuff out here marching. The revolution, family, freedom, fighting in the marches. The revolution lives on Blood Lives Matter. Don't ignore me. Our people out here dying, just another break. When will we get justice? Oh, when will we get justice? No, they don't want it. No, they don't want to see no justice. They don't want it. And they don't want to see no justice. They don't want it. And they don't want to see no justice. They don't want it. No, they don't want to see no justice. We need allies on the front line. We've been learning for this moment, so it's crunch time. I'm talking time and time, staying truth up in these lines. They forming riot lines, looking at the police cry. It's no more love for the bacon, hope the piggies die. They like to cover all their fuck-ups, then they feed you lies. How they shoot you when you sleeping in the bed you lie. They'd rather see you lying than to see you saving lives. I had to kick it so for all the freedom fighters. It's for the ones who tie the hashtags and them candle lighters. I'm from Milwaukee, but it's looking like the Carolinas. Traffic in them caravans. In the streets is where you find us. Yeah. Take it to the streets to fund the police. No justice, no peace. Yeah. Take it to the streets to fund the police. No justice, no peace. Yeah. Oh, when will we get justice? Oh, when will we get justice? Oh, no, they don't want it. No, they don't want to see no justice. They don't want it. No, they don't want to see no justice. They don't want it. No, they don't want to see no justice. They don't want it. They just want to be destruction in the Black lives matter. Black women matter. Protect black women. Protect black children. Protect yourselves. Fuck 12.
All right, what's up, everybody? So, recently there was an unfortunate situation in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where law enforcement had executed a no-knock warrant, which resulted in the death of Amir Locke. So you guys saw Raw Topic and I went out there for a day, filmed a pretty large rally in support of Amir Locke and his family. They had once a lot of information started to come out about this pretty rapidly. They ended up sealing this warrant. The excuse they gave was that it involved a minor, and that's why they sealed the documents. And then today, just very recently, they unsealed the entire warrant. So a lot of people are sharing little tiny bits and pieces of this. We ended up finding the full 16-page warrant. So I'm gonna end up reading this to you guys. So it says, in re the matter of the search warrant dated February 1st, 2022, digitally signed by Judge Cahill, involving apartment 701 at South Marquette, Minneapolis. Now we know Judge Cahill is obviously the judge presiding over the officers that killed George Floyd. And then here he is again in the news regarding this. So the warrant says, pursuant to the attached request of Assistant Ramsey County Attorney Derek Fitch, dated February 3rd, 2022, made pursuant to Min.R. Criminal Penal Code 3304, for an order sealing the above-named search warrants and all accompanying documents because disclosure could create a substantial risk of hampering an ongoing investigation or create a substantial risk of injury to an innocent person. It is ordered that the above-mentioned search warrants and all accompanying documents be filed under seal and returned to the original signing judge or retained in the office of the designee of the court until commencement of criminal proceedings or upon further order of the court, whichever occurs first. So obviously, a little bit of conflicting info there. Derek Fitch, Assistant Ramsey County Attorney, hereby requests, pursuant to the provision of Rule 33 of the Minnesota Rules of Criminal Procedure, that the application for search warrant and supporting affidavits and the information contained in the search warrant and inventory and receipt accompanying such application for search warrant and supporting affidavits and the order granting this request be filed under seal. The reason for this request is as follows. Such filing could create a substantial risk of injury to an innocent person or severely hamper an ongoing investigation by identifying potential witnesses, cooperating individuals, and other law enforcement investigative methods and resources. So that was signed on the 3rd. Application for search warrant. I, Daniel Zebro, a licensed peace officer in the state of Minnesota, make an application to this court for a warrant to search the premises described below for the property and things described below. I know the content of this application and affirm that the statements contained in this application are true based on my own knowledge or are believed to be true. I believe that the following described property and things, namely blood evidence to include blood splatter, blood staining, and or blood residue, forensic evidence including blood, saliva, hairs, fibers, DNA, fingerprints, or other bodily fluids, also surfaces or objects which may contain or hold said items, residue, firearms and firearm indicia, including but not limited to long guns, handguns, ammunition, cartridge, casings, holsters, gun cleaning kits, firearm cases and manuals, receipts, photographs of firearms and papers, notes or other documents tending to show possession and or ownership of firearms, electronic devices to include computers, cell phones, cameras, and other devices capable of recording and or storing electronic data, marijuana and all other controlled substances as defined in Minnesota statutes, Chapter 152, as well as scales, drug paraphernalia, drug notes, primary containers, and other items used for concealment, storage, manufacture, distribution, or consumption of controlled substances. What's up, stand-up citizen? Receipts, paperwork, mail, and or other documents that may be used to assist in identification and tend to show the ownership or occupancy of the residence, U.S. currency, fire extinguishers, Mercedes key fobs. Looking for a lot of shit. So I do know that these guys, minus Amir Locke, but people that were involved potentially with this homicide, they were taking a lot of pictures on social media, brandishing various guns and things like that. Following clothing: person 1, black and blue sneakers, black denim jeans with rhinestone large skull on the right thigh, blue jacket with an orange inside and a fur color, Tommy Hilfiger logo on left sleeve of the coat, a light colored hooded sweatshirt. Person 2 identified as Micaiah Camden, speed, light tanned footwear, black denim jeans, light colored hooded sweatshirt with a small black horizontal line on the top, black Canada Goose jacket with a fur lined collar, Canada Goose logo on the left sleeve of the jacket, another dark hooded jacket, gray hooded sweatshirt, dark pants, and light colored shoes. Person 3, blue or black footwear with a light colored sole, black jeans, shiny blue hooded jacket, black hooded sweatshirt. Person 4 identified, and that part's redacted, black sneakers, possibly Jordan 11s, gray denim pants, red jacket with black inner hood and a round black logo on the left sleeve of the red jacket, dark colored hooded sweatshirt. Is or are at the premises described as 1117 South Marquette Avenue, apartment 701, located in city or township of Minneapolis, county of Hennepin, state of Minnesota. I apply for a search warrant on the following grounds. The property or things above described was stolen or embezzled. The property or things above described was used as means of committing a crime. The possession of the property or things above described constitutes a crime. The property or things above described is in the possession of a person with intent to use such property as a means of committing a crime, or the property or things so intended to be used are in the possession of another to whom they have been delivered for the purpose of concealing them or preventing their being discovered. The property or things above described constitutes evidence which tends to show a crime has been committed or tends to show that a particular person has committed a crime. The facts establishing the grounds for issuance of a search warrant are as follows. I, Sergeant Dan Zebro, am your affiant and swear to these facts. I am a licensed peace officer and member of the St. Paul Police Department and have been so since 1995. I am licensed and certified by the Minnesota Peace Officer Standards and Training Board. I am currently assigned to major crimes investigations, specifically the homicide and robbery unit. I investigate a wide variety of cases that include, but are not limited to, homicides, aggravated assaults, terroristic threats, kidnapping, simple assaults, robberies, weapons charges, harassments, and numerous other types of crimes against persons, society, and property. My previous assignments have included other investigative units, as well as working as a patrol officer, function on various shifts in various districts. I have executed numerous search warrants that have resulted in the recovery of evidence substantially lending to the successful prosecution and conviction of individuals. On January 10th, 2022, at 21:33 hours, St. Paul police officers responded to 502 Pryor Avenue North on a report of a male being shot. Witnesses near the scene called 911 and reported a man was laying near a vehicle, later identified as Wisconsin license 651 XXC 2001 Chevrolet Tahoe, black. Then it lists the VIN number. St. Paul Fire Department medics responded to the scene and located a victim with a gunshot wound to his body. The victim was later identified as Otis Rodney Elder. Elder was transported to Regions Hospital, where he was pronounced deceased. Money, a pill, and suspected marijuana were seen in the front seat area of the vehicle, and money was also found on the street near the vehicle. The vehicle also had what appeared to be blood and blood spatter in the front seat area. A spent shell casing was also located on the ground near the vehicle. Officers also identified potential witnesses on scene. Two of the witnesses, hereinafter described as CL and XB, were brought to St. Paul Police Headquarters for interviews. Your affiant spoke with CL, and he stated he operates a recording studio at 502 Pryor Avenue North. XB met him there on January 10, 2022 at 20:30 hours to do a music recording. At approximately 21:30 hours, CL heard what sounded like a gunshot. He and XB went outside and found Elder on the ground near, and then it gives the license plate again, and suffering from an apparent gunshot wound. Nothing else was seen or heard, according to CL. Investigators spoke with a witness, hereinafter referred to as RB, over the phone. RB told investigators that he was on the phone with Elder during the incident and believed he heard the homicide occur. RB reported hearing Elder tell someone not to get in the back of his vehicle and to wait until he was done dealing with the person in the vehicle. RB stated he believed Elder had been selling drugs to someone in the car when another person tried to get in the back seat. RB then heard a struggle on the phone, and he heard someone say, "Pop this N-word if he ain't going to give it up." RB stated the phone went dead, and he tried to call back Elder numerous times, but the phone would go straight to voicemail. Your affiant reviewed surveillance footage in the area of the incident. Prior to the incident, two other officers can be seen near Elder's vehicle. One of the vehicles was a dark BMW, and the other vehicle was a light-colored Mercedes. After the incident, the Mercedes is seen fleeing at a high rate of speed northbound on Pryor to westbound University. Additional video footage showed the incident and included audio of a gunshot. There were two persons at Elder's vehicle when the gunshot is heard. Both persons run to the Mercedes after the incident. One of the suspects is wearing a dark jacket and a gray hooded sweatshirt, hereinafter described as suspect number 1. The other suspect is wearing all dark clothing, hereinafter described as suspect number 2. Suspect number 2 enters the right front passenger side of Elder's vehicle, as suspect number 1 stays outside the vehicle. At one point, the suspect number 1 moves towards the driver's side door of Elder's vehicle. Suspect number 1 is then seen taking a step back, and a gunshot is heard. The right front passenger door opens, and suspect number 1 appears to open the driver's side door of Elder's vehicle. Suspect number 1 then appears to be grabbing items from inside the vehicle and from the ground around the vehicle. Suspect number 1 then runs southbound to the Mercedes and is joined by suspect number 2 at the rear of Elder's vehicle. Members of the St. Paul Police Special Investigations Unit reviewed additional video evidence collected and tracked the Mercedes traveling via I-94 westbound to the Grant 11th exit in Minneapolis and stopped at 1117 South Marquette Avenue, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Hennepin County Sheriff's Office and Minneapolis Police Department criminal analysts were contacted to assist in this investigation. The agencies recalled the suspect vehicle fit the description of a 2014 gray Mercedes-Benz, and it gives a license plate. It's got a Massachusetts plate. It's interesting. Involved with multiple incidents in the metro. Below are some of the incidents. On 11/27/2021 at 14:16 hours, the 2014 gray Mercedes-Benz Massachusetts plate was stolen after a test drive. On 12/1/2021 at 17:03 hours, the 2014 gray Mercedes-Benz was followed by traffic control near 5th Avenue South and Franklin. On 12/6 at 19:27 hours, the 2014 gray Mercedes-Benz was used in an armed robbery at the Ted Mann Concert Hall parking lot. On 12/28/2021 at 1600 hours, the 2014 gray Mercedes-Benz was listed as a suspect vehicle in an armed robbery. On 12/28/21 at 1657 hours, the 2014 gray Mercedes-Benz was a suspect vehicle in an attempted armed robbery. Mercedes-Benz had a front illuminated Mercedes emblem. It should be noted the SPPD homicide vehicle had an illuminated front Mercedes-Benz emblem. On 12/28/21 at 1713 hours, the 2014 gray Mercedes-Benz was noted because the DEA aired a Somali male with a gun near the vehicle at a Cedar Avenue and Washington Avenue. On 12/28/21 at 1747 hours, the 2014 gray Mercedes-Benz was noted as being in a pursuit. On January 4, 2022 at 1728 hours, the 2014 gray Mercedes was a suspect vehicle in a theft. On January 7th, 2022 at 1950 hours, the 2014 gray Mercedes-Benz was noted as being involved with the theft of a Maserati. The victim of the theft looked for assistance in locating his vehicle via social media. The victim was sent a tip, which was a capture of a video post from the Instagram account that's listed with display name of Certified M. The photograph was taken in a garage. There were 2 other Instagram accounts tagged in the post that's listed. The Maserati was located at this address. The Mercedes was captured on security camera footage entering and exiting the ramp. The Instagram account, vanity name, which is listed, is believed to be affiliated with, and that's all redacted. Additional posts on the Instagram account have photos in front of a silver Mercedes with black wheels. Follow-up investigation determined that the main user is, I don't know how to say this, Faisal Jama Ali. Urafian and Sergeant Skog showed photos of, that word's redacted, and his associates to the management of 1117 Marquette Avenue, South Minneapolis, Minnesota, Bolero Flats Apartments, who recognized them as being affiliated with apartment number 1403. The apartment is rented to, I'm not even going to try to pronounce this. There's a couple of people that are listed. It's kind of difficult names. They're brothers that frequent this address. On January 14, 2022, assisting officers located an Instagram live video on January 14, 2022 at 13:57 hours. The video showed, it's a redacted word, in an indoor pool. The background of the photo was a wall that was white on the bottom half and blue on the top half. There was a planter next to what appeared to be an entrance to the pool. There was also a window to the right of the door. I performed a search of Bolero Flats website. I believed and then it lists the Instagram account, was on Instagram live from inside the pool at the Bolero Flats apartments based on the images. The SPPD Forensic Services Unit processed Elder's vehicle and recovered a latent fingerprint that matched a MNBCA file to a male named, I don't fucking know, Mujahid Din Samir Abdul Aziz. Abdul Aziz shares an address with the registered owner of Minnesota. Then it gives license plate for a silver Ford Fusion, which received a parking ticket on September 9th, 2021 at 1121 Marquette Avenue near the Bolero Flats. Also on 9/9/21, Isaac Ibrahim Robe was cited in the same vehicle for driving after revocation. On January 21st, 2022, the Mercedes was located by an off-duty University of Minnesota police officer in the Leamington parking ramp at 1001 2nd Avenue, South Minneapolis, Minnesota. The officer recognized the vehicle from an alert issued to law enforcement prior to January 21st. The vehicle was secured and towed to the St. Paul Police Impound Lot. A search warrant was executed on the vehicle, and the following fingerprints were recovered. And then it lists two of the people's names: Speed, Mackay, or one other person, sorry, Mackay Camden Speed. Your affiant and Sergeant Skog located video footage from the Bolero Flats that showed the Mercedes parking in the Bolero Flats parking ramp at approximately 22:16 hours on January 10th, 2022. Two persons matching the suspects involved in the homicide of Elder were seen exiting the vehicle. Another person, described as a black male, long hair, wearing a red jacket with black lining, gray pants, and dark shoes with white soles, was also seen exiting the vehicle. This male did not have any portions of his face covered and was recognized by law enforcement from past contacts. And then his name is redacted. Was arrested on January 16th, 2022 by Minneapolis police for numerous warrants, to include a warrant for aggravated robbery, first degree. That word's redacted. Was arrested at his home. That address is redacted. When arrested, that word's redacted. I'm sure it's the same person, though. Was wearing the same red-colored coat as viewed in surveillance video at the Bolero when they returned after the homicide. He was also in possession of a cell phone and Mercedes key fob, which he left in his bedroom. Then, name's redacted again, is currently in custody at the Hennepin County Juvenile Detention Center. Additional video footage from the Bolero Flats was collected and watched. The suspects were seen walking through the building and eventually entered the elevator. The suspect, wearing the dark-colored jacket and gray hooded sweatshirt, can be seen in video footage manipulating some solid object in the front pocket of his hooded sweatshirt. He conceals the item with his outer jacket as he approaches the security officer who works at the front entrance of the Bolero Flats. Your affiant and Sergeant Skog returned to the Bolero Flats and watched surveillance footage of the suspects with staff. Staff believed the suspect with the dark coat and gray hooded sweatshirt was associated with apartment 701. A subsequent check of police records related to the apartment provided the name of Mackay Camden Speed. Staff informed us Speed had requested a fob for that apartment in the past. Speed was transported by Minneapolis Fire Department medics from the apartment on January 22nd. Speed matches the suspect wearing the dark jacket and gray hooded sweatshirt. Bolero staff informed us that apartment 701 is rented by Tatiana Alexis Henderson, and they noted a boyfriend lives with Henderson. Bolero staff stated there have been several police calls to this apartment. A search of Minneapolis police reports for apartment 701 shows that the boyfriend to Henderson is Marlon Cornelius Speed Jr. A search of law enforcement databases shows that Marlon Speed and Mackay Speed are brothers. We checked with Hennepin County Probation and were told Mackay Speed uses this address as his home address. Staff informed us the female renter of that apartment lists Mackay Speed as a child who lives with her. Investigator reviewed several police reports regarding Speed. There's a couple redactions in here. And redacted, we found that redacted and redacted are known associates and have been arrested together in the past. We viewed several Instagram vanity account names linked with this Instagram account, which includes pictures and videos. In these accounts, we found redacted driving in a Mercedes and several videos he posted inside the pool of the Bolero apartments. Redacted has also taken several photos with Mackay Speed where they are displaying guns and cash. Your affiant is requesting to search for the clothing the suspects were observed wearing during and after the murder of Elder, to include clothing worn by the suspects when they abandoned the stolen Mercedes at the Leamington ramp after the homicide. Investigators noted in the video at the Leamington parking ramp, the suspects used a large dark-colored duffel bag to store items from inside the Mercedes. Your affiant requests to recover any large dark-colored duffel bags related to this incident. Investigators also found that prior to the suspects leaving the car in the Leamington parking ramp, they used a fire extinguisher to spray on the inside of the car. Your affiant requests to search for any fire extinguishers that may have been used by the suspects. At the scene of the homicide, investigators recovered one .223 caliber spent cartridge case. Therefore, your affiant requests to search for firearms and firearm indicia. Through the investigation, investigators learned that the suspects were attempting to rob the victim of money and or drugs. A large amount of cash was found outside and inside the victim's vehicle, as well as some narcotics were located in the vehicle. Your affiant is asking to search for controlled substances and U.S. currency, which may have been taken from the victim during the homicide. Your affiant is asking the court's permission to collect cellular phones, communication devices, tablets, and iPads. Affiant Zebro is aware through training and experience that people communicate via cell phones. Individuals also use social media, including but not limited to Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and other social websites, to send and receive messages, photographs, and communicate in other ways. Oftentimes, these social websites can be accessed via cell phone, but also through tablets, computers, and other devices. Your affiant also learned through this investigation that after Elder was killed, both his cell phones were taken from his vehicle and subsequently turned off. Your affiant requests permission to seize cell phones and any of the above electronics and to forensically download those items to preserve any evidence contained therein. All right. So this is where we get to the actual warrant element. So that was all kind of like the basis for the warrant to begin with. And as we know, Amir Locke is not named in this warrant, even with these redactions that are in here. He wasn't even a suspect. He's not involved in this any way, shape, or form. He just happened to be at his cousin's house. From the sound of this, it seems like there's an older woman that lives there who, more than likely, from how I'm gathering, is the mother of one of the people that are kind of listed. There's kind of a lot of people listed in this thing. Everybody other than Amir Locke. A nighttime search outside the hours of 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. is necessary to prevent the loss, destruction, or removal of the objects of the search, or to protect the searchers or the public, because this homicide at 502 North Pryor in St. Paul was a violent robbery where the suspect shot the victim with a .223 caliber firearm. So this is an important first line. So they're looking to be able to execute this search warrant outside of the hours of 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. So that's permission number one. So it's kind of outside of these like rules of serving search warrants. So they need permission for that first. The suspects then fled to the Bolero Flats apartment in Minneapolis, where Speed was seen on video trying to manipulate and cover up an item in his pants and coat, which your affiant believes was the firearm used to kill Elder. These suspects have been actively involved in numerous crimes throughout the metro since at least November 2021, to include robberies, firearm incidents, and fleeing the police in a motor vehicle. A criminal history review of the known suspects in this homicide revealed that they have a history of violent crimes. The suspects have been posting videos and photos on Instagram holding several different firearms, to include a rifle, possibly the murder weapon. The suspects have also been posting videos inside the Bolero Flats apartments in the pool area, showing they are still active in the Bolero Flats apartment complex. .223 caliber rifle rounds can penetrate police body armor. A nighttime search warrant enables officers to execute the warrant more safely by allowing officers to make entry into the apartment without alerting the suspects inside. This will not only increase officer safety, but it will also decrease the risk for injuries to the suspects, fucking idiots, and other residents nearby. That didn't work, did it? All right, so then the next paragraph, this is the second portion of permission. A no-knock entry is necessary to prevent the loss, destruction, or removal of the objects. And then it's literally the same stuff I just read. So the first paragraph is asking permission to execute a warrant outside of these kind of rules, when it comes to time frame. And then the second permission is asking for a no-knock. Now, there was already, from my understanding, with the mayor, they had already sort of banned no-knock warrants prior to any of this happening. But there had left room for like exigent circumstances. And then now you have the death of Amir Locke in this situation. And then the mayor puts this moratorium, same exact thing, where it still leaves room for exigent circumstances where you can still do no-knock warrants. So they're really not technically banned. It sounds like it was just let's appease the angry mob by saying that they're banned, but they're really not. And then here he goes and does the same exact thing. All right, so back to the rest of this. Investigative activities supporting no-knock entry. Your affiant has reviewed criminal histories of the suspects and reviewed reports relating to the crimes these suspects have been involved with in the recent past. Investigators are currently monitoring the suspects' Instagram and Facebook social media accounts where the suspects are posting videos and pictures while holding various firearms. Surveillance has recently been conducted on the suspects at the Bolero Flats apartments. Investigators have reviewed video at the Bolero Flats apartments to show that they are still active at this complex since the homicide. Investigators have also met with Bolero Flats management, who are aware of some of these suspects, and they stated they have seen them numerous times in the building since the homicide. Investigators have reviewed the Bolero Flats key fob log to show that Speed has been actively using his key fob to gain access to the Bolero Flats building since the homicide. Use of a no-knock entry has been reviewed and approved by Sheila Lambie on February 1st, 2022 at 11:07, and Stacy Murphy on February 1st, 2022 at 13:07. I request a search warrant be issued commanding Daniel Zebro, Minneapolis Police Department, and St. Paul Police Department, peace officers of the state of Minnesota, and any other authorized person to enter and search without announcement of authority and purpose between the hours of 7 a.m. and 8 p.m., and a nighttime search outside those hours to search the above described premises for the described property and things, and to seize and keep said property and things in custody until dealt with according to law. Doesn't it seem odd that you've got this entire history of all of these crimes that, I mean, they're active crimes. They still need people in custody for everything else that's happened. Why are they just going in this apartment for, physical items? Why are you not going in there to arrest the people that have been committing all the other crimes? It seems fucking crazy. And then this is like the actual warrant, which we read in the very beginning of this live. Let's see. So this part is like what Judge Cahill, the court further finds that probable cause exists to believe that the above described property and things is or are at the above described premises. Court further finds that a nighttime search outside the hours of 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. is necessary to prevent the loss, destruction, removal of the objects of said search, or to protect the safety of the searchers or the public. The court further finds that no-knock entry without announcement of authority or purpose is necessary to prevent the loss, destruction, or removal of the objects of said search, or to protect the safety of the searchers or the public. Now, therefore, you, Daniel Zebro, Minneapolis Police Department, and St. Paul Police Department, peace officers of the state of Minnesota, and any other authorized person are hereby commanded to enter and search without announcement of authority and purpose between the hours of 7 a.m. and 8 p.m., and a nighttime search outside those hours to search the above described premises for the described property and things, and to seize and keep said property and things in custody until dealt with according to law. Digitally signed by Judge Cahill. And then this is a report of things that were seized inside of the apartment. It's crazy. So it looks like they took a wallet containing miscellaneous contents of Amir Locke. It's listed living room chair. Found marijuana inside right pocket, living room chair, or camo jacket. Keys found in camo jacket, left pocket. Toyota living room chair. Apple iMac computer, living room. 5 nano chips, living room closet. 9mm bullet, laundry room basket. iPhone case with bullet. Bullet? With what? It looks like iPhone case with bullet and ID of Marlon Speed. Laundry room basket. iPhone pink found on footrest, living room. Suspected marijuana, living room plastic bin on top. Black hooded jacket, living room closet. Suspected marijuana, bedroom TV stand. Motorola cell phone, black and blue case. Black North Face pocket. iPhone with pink case, right side of bedroom. iPhone with black clear case, left side of bed towards closet in the bedroom. Apple MacBook on the floor of the bedroom. Super. Where's all the fucking clothes you listed? They listed like everything in this warrant, and I mean, didn't even take a fraction of it. I mean, if any of it was even in the house. Fucking. Holy Christ. So there you have it. Hereby commanded to enter and search without announcement of authority and purpose. So 2 important elements to that is, they asked for specific times outside of the normal time parameters to serve warrants. And then in addition to that, asked for it to be a no-knock warrant. So there you have it. I know that was extremely long, probably boring to some, but those are the full details so that things don't get misconstrued. There's a lot of rhetoric going around from our friends on the right, still claiming that Amir Locke is a criminal, even though there's been no criminal history revealed. And, criminals shouldn't own guns. And again, Amir Locke was a legal gun owner who had every legal right to be sleeping on a couch with a gun next to his person. So there you go. There's the full warrant. So make sure you guys like this video. This is pretty important. Share this out because, you know, there's, again, like I said, there's just tons and tons of rhetoric going around. This is, you know, the actual warrant. A lot of what's being shared on social media is little bits and pieces that were kind of screen captured from the warrant itself. You know, sort of highlighting, you know, certain things. You guys obviously know on our platform, we give the entirety of the situation, so that, you know, it doesn't push a certain narrative, doesn't highlight necessarily certain things, you know, that's going to cause people to lose their minds one side or the other. So yeah, if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. There's tons of content on there. Check out our website, Never.Stop.Voices.com. If you guys like what we do, you want to help support the platform, there's some links in the comment section as well as a pinned comment. Otherwise, you can send some super chats. This obviously takes a lot of time and work and effort to bring you guys a lot of the content and cost involved in open records requests and all of that. So when you guys subscribe, you know, don't only hit the bell for all notifications, but make sure you guys are going in your settings and making sure that your settings are clicked to receive notifications. So if that is turned off and you're hitting the bell, you're still not going to receive notifications. So that may explain why some of you are not being notified when we go live. If that still doesn't work, then we're definitely being shadow banned yet again. So I'll talk to you guys later.